Hey there, I'm Ken. This is Canadian Retro Things. Welcome and happy Tandy. I am going to do some more programming today for my electronic book. That's right, if you have been following what I've been doing lately, I have been trying to make a basic game for the electronic book. Something that is not an educational game like what basically was all that ever came out for this. I'm trying to do an adventure game. And so today I'm going to design the screen that you're going to be seeing when you play the game. This is fairly heavily inspired by Wizardry, the first basic RPG game that I ever played on a computer. And I am going to do a couple of other things like figuring out how to clear the screen in each little section that the screen is going to be divided into. So that's hopefully what I am going to accomplish today. So I guess there's nothing else to do but jump right into this basic Tandy programming video. Alright, I have sat down and I wrote up a quick little program here to draw out the start screen, the main screen of this game, on how I want it to look. Now first let's take a look and see what it looks like. I'm kind of heavily inspired here by the game Wizardry, which was one of the first RPG games I played on a computer, so I've broken the screen down into 3 quadrants. So the first one is the action area. This is where your little guy will be as he explores the terrain. The one right beside it, which is the second area, will tell you your current character's stats, as well as which page of the electronic book you should be on for making your choices. And the bottom part is where it will print out any descriptions of what's going on. So, how did I actually make this screen? Well, let's break this down in the program here. So, the first line there, 10, is clearing the screen to a black screen. I've added some go-to statements there just to break this up so that I'll be able to run the program and show you what each line is doing. So line 20 is the first line where it does anything, and it's poking in 4 different blocks there. So if we run this, it'll just run that line. So as you can see, I put a dot in each corner. Now, the way that the low-res graphics on this works is that each little section is broken up into 4 little quadrants. I'm using the thinner lines because it just looks better. So in this particular instance, I'm only opening up the inner corners, or only highlighting the inner corners of each of those blocks. So those are the corners of the screen. Now the next thing that happens is line 30 is a repeating pattern that pokes in 3 different lines. So basically going from one over from the side of the screen to one away from the other side of the screen, and it's doing 3 different 3 different lines. So if we run that, that just prints out those lines. So now in line 40, it's drawing lines going down, and to do that, I'm just doing a loop that is stepping 32. The screen is 32 wide, so when I jump forward 32, it's going to the 4 pixel area directly below the one I just printed. So it's doing that on 2 different lines. So if we run that, we now see that the side lines are drawn. And you guessed it, the last line is just simply drawing the line to break up sections 1 and 2. So, there we go. And that will be basically the permanent screen of how you're playing. So this will have to be drawn once at the beginning of the program when you run it, and then everything will take place within the boxes. The next thing I want to do is I want to write a little routine to blank out each of the 3 areas. Now, the reason that I'd be blanking them out is to get rid of any information that's on there right now so that it's a fresh slate to write new information, put a new area of the map on, whatever. So that way you don't accidentally have anything from the old map still on the screen that doesn't get drawn over. Alright, so I'm going to do 2 different ways. One way I'm going to just draw colors onto the screen, and then the next way I'm going to black it out, and I'm going to see which way is actually faster. So what I've already written into the program here is I've added at the beginning where I have made 3 different string arrays, B string 1, B string 2, and B string 3. And then I just carry on. So that's basically just a little housekeeping right at the beginning of the program. So here is the first way that I am doing stuff, and that is going to be poking in the colors. So as you can see, I did 3 loops on here. The first loop is adding a color to the first area of the screen, and it's doing it 1 dot at a time. So it's a loop within a loop. So it does the first line, and then it does the second line, then it does the third line, fourth, so on and so on. And it repeats that 3 times, 1 for each loop. So once it's drawn the colors on there, I do have a little pause in there, line 148. That is so that we can look and marvel at the colors. It's basically just so it doesn't happen immediately. Then what it's doing is it's printing out line by line in each section, each array that I have. So the arrays that I made for 1, 2, and 3 are all the length of those sections. So it just repeatedly prints the line of the array, which are all blank spaces. So let's run that and see which one is quicker. I have my thoughts on which one it's going to be, but let's see if I'm right. And there it is, drawing the colors. Pause. Well, that's no contest at all. Printing the arrays was way faster, so that is what I'm going to be using for blanking out the sections. Now that I've figured out by far the quickest way to blank each area is using the B string arrays that I've made. I've broken them up, as you can see here, into 3 separate things. 1 for blanking area 1, 1 for blanking area 2, 1 for blanking area 3. Added a return statement so that you can call each section individually from anywhere in the program, and then with a go sub statement, and it would then return after it blanks the area. And to test this out, I've made a little bit of a sample here. So starting at line 199, sample printing. So I'm poking 4 shapes into, that would be area 1. And then I'm printing sample 1 into area 2. And then printing, if you can read this, you are dead, on area 3. And then I'm pausing for a count of 1,000. Then I'm going to line 150, which is blanking area 1. So it'll blank out area 1, then it'll redraw the 3 shapes in different places. Pause for another 1,000 count, then it'll blank out area 2, and it'll print sample 2 into area 2. Pause for another 1,000 count, then it'll blank out area 3, and then print really dead. So let's run that and see what happens. draws the screen. There we go. Redrew area 1, sample 2, really dead. There we go. Well, that all works out as planned. All right, well, that all seemed to work out pretty darn good. I'm very happy with that. So I've got the screen blanking out how I want it. I've got the screen divided up how I want it. So now I can actually start on some of the basics of the game. I will first off, of course, add the interface for being able to move the character around and read the electronic book. Then I can put the character up into that first window, maybe add a couple of obstacles, test out some collision detection and things like that. Add some basic stats into the second window and maybe a few descriptors into the third window. And then I guess it's going to actually start looking like a game. So hopefully I will be able to get that done before the end of Septandy for another video, but yeah, we'll see. I'm in the process right now of packing up to head home, so there's going to be a little bit of traveling coming up for me. All right, well, this is the part of the video where I have to thank my patrons, whose names are currently rolling by on the screen. And if you are interested in supporting my channel through Patreon, there is a link down in the description. Check that out. Otherwise, I have to say thank you for watching this video and subscribing to my channel, commenting on the video, all things that really do help the channel out a lot and give that little YouTube algorithm a punch in the arm to help get this video out to people that might be interested in it. All right, well, yeah, that's it for today. So happy Septandy, and I will see you in the next video.